Hello traders, good afternoon. My name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpar Research and Analysis, and this is daily analytical report. So let me show you what's going on the markets. We'll try to look for decent trading setups. We will discuss situation from the fundamental point of view and technical point of view. Actually, in terms of the fundamentals, the calendar is quite packed. Calendar is rich. Maybe not today, but everybody's waiting for tomorrow ECB decision about interest rates and statement. It's more about QE program here. But the thing is that today we do not have any main fundamental event that is influencing the markets. We have combination of North Korea still. We have a small influence from the tax plan proposed by Donald Trump, or this speculation about his I'm sorry speculation about his tax plan. What we also do have is a small influence from Irma, which is hurricane, which is approaching Florida. Most probably it will approach Florida, and it's claimed to be the strongest hurricane on record. We had a fairly dovish Fed speak recently, and that's just a combination of of those factors which are influencing the markets right now. From the calendar point of view, today we'll see Bank of Canada rate statement and interest rate decision. So definitely, even to watch for traders on Canadian dollar. It's not only this bank, because we are going to have interest rate decision in Brazil. We had interest rate decision in Poland, which remained unchanged. And as you can see, on Thursday, everybody's waiting for ECB rate decision and a statement, and obviously a press conference. So that will be the event, main event for the markets actually this week, because on Friday it will be just pack of data from Canadian job market. So all attention is shifted towards the Thursday and the decision from ECB. In this environment, we can see a bit weaker stocks. Well, stocks got slumped yesterday. Today we do have a small correction of that. We can see a weaker dollar, and we can see much stronger commodities with gold and oil leading the way here. So now let me show you what's happening from the technical point of view here. So we had this pennant yesterday, which I was telling you about, with those green lines, and the price finally decided to break the upper line of the pennant, which triggered a midterm buy signal, right? So the price advancing higher. But at the same time, what we have is a flag. So a lower line of the pennant stays here, and the upper line of the flag is here, and it gives us together a flag. A flag is a trend continuation pattern, so it should result in a downswing, because it was started, the flag developed after the downswing. But I would say that that's a midterm situation, but in the long term we are more influenced by the bounce from this horizontal support and this correction equality movement, and the fact that the price making higher highs and higher lows. And I would say that that's what the trend is, and we should see a breakout of 23.6 Fibonacci here, instead of the breakout of the lower line of the flag. But that's just the sentiment. I cannot see any a proper trading signal on euro dollar. So for me here it's like 51 to 49, which is not enough, which is not significant, which is not enough to open a trade here. So for me there is no clear signal on euro dollar. It's just the thing what is more probable than what is less probable. And here in this situation, I think that upswing is more probable. Actually, we can remove this correction equality pattern for us to see better this bounce. And we can see that here is a very important mid-term support here, which is around 190.20. It was a support here at the end of August, 1st of September resistance, 1st of September resistance, 4th of September, 5th of September resistance, and today it got broken, and the price tested it as a support, and this test resulted with a hammer on hourly chart. So this opens a way to attack the 119.65, which is marked here with this blue color. This is the next resistance here for this instrument. I don't think that this flag, upper line of the flag, will be significant resistance. I think that this one, this horizontal one, will be much more important than this dynamic one from this flag. So as long as we stay above this 119.20, the sentiment on euro dollar is positive. For me, there is no buy signal here, but the sentiment is positive. We do have a nice trading on cable. Cable is heading higher and broke two important resistances. First one is this horizontal one here on 129.60. And the second one is this uptrend line. We can see that we came back above the uptrend line, which is pretty significant for this situation here on cable. And after this, there is a buy signal again. And again, you remember that it was triggered by a correction equality pattern. So you have this correction equality here and here. And after that, the price just went higher, and it looks awesome from the technical point of view. So the situation is fully positive here. S&P 500, we can see this heavy blow that stocks received yesterday in the beginning of the American session. But what Americans are doing is they are doing what they always do. So V-shaped retracement, a sharp bounce from a first local support. Here they were not even bothered to go to the trend line. They bounced off the first horizontal resistance on 2,450, 55 points. Yes, we can say 55 points. They are back again above the another resistance, actually now a support on 2,464 points. So the sentiment here is positive. It's positive on stocks, and I don't think that currently there can be anything that can stop this this upswing. So the base scenario for this instrument is the price finally closing this gap from the beginning of the week and making new all-time highs. And the positive scenario will be kept as long as we are above the red line, which is long-term uptrend line here. So again, as long as we are above the red line here, red uptrend line, the sentiment is positive. That was an interesting one. That wasn't a flag, so it didn't develop in a flag. But price actually tested this downtrend line. Went slightly above the resistance, so if somebody was going short here and had too tight stop loss, it was taken, but the price didn't manage to break this downtrend line. Even if it will be lower, the price didn't manage to break it, and actually there is still a sell signal here on New Zealand dollar to American dollar. Dollar index is showing us this weakness of American dollar since the beginning of the week. Actually, since Thursday, that's Thursday, when we went significantly lower, and we are still influenced by this false breakout from this Thursday. So it almost always like that after the false breakout you have a strong movement in the opposite direction. That's why we teach that on our price action webinars, because it really works. False breakouts can give you a decent trading signal like here, well, we are below all major resistances here. So if the price is below major resistances, the sentiment can be only negative. We are below the blue one, below the trend line, and below the orange one. As long as we will stay below the trend line, the sentiment is definitely negative. Gold is trading very nice. That's a very technical movements, right? So we had this correction quality here, which I removed yesterday, but you will remember that. So this correction was almost the same as this one and this one in terms of depth, obviously. Here we bounced from the horizontal psychological barrier on $1,300 per ounce, and we went significantly higher. And look, in the previous week, the price made those resistances here on 1,325. We opened with a gap caused by this nuclear test in North Korea, by North Korea. Then the price managed to almost close the gap here. They bounced off the first, they closed the gap in terms of shadows, right? Then they used that horizontal support and that gap to perform an upswing. The price made new yearly highs, and now we're having a mild correction of that movement. So it's a very technical trading, so a broken resistance becomes a support. That's one of the most important and well-known price action principles, that broken resistance, which is here, becomes a support. And it was done many times, like here, broken resistance becomes a support, broken resistance becomes a support. So gold is just following that pattern. Very technical trading. It's a feast for technical traders, and the first potential target for this movement is far away, actually, because it's $1,370 per ounce, or even $90, or even $1,400 per ounce, which is generally here. And why this area is quite wide? Well, because we have highs from 2014, we have highs from well, not maybe highs, but important area from 2013. So this generally is the place where we can have a small reversal. We can have a correction, but in general the sentiment is very positive on gold. There is an interesting situation on American dollar to Mexican peso. Why is that? Because we had a downtrend, right? We broke the downtrend line, but instead of going up, the price is still moving sideways, right? So this downtrend line loses a little bit of meaning here, but what gains our attention here is this symmetric triangle formation labeled with black lines. The symmetric triangle started at the second half of July, and here we are just waiting for a breakout. In the middle of this formation we do have a horizontal support resistance, but what we are waiting here is either for buy signal. We need to see the price closing above the upper black line. For the sell signal, we need to see price closing below the lower black line. As long as we stay inside, there's no clear trading signal here. We are just waiting for the breakout, and the breakout can give you potentially lucrative trading opportunity the potential first potential target here for the long position is somewhere here. For the short position is here. Okay, so you can see that you can earn few pips from this just by keeping eye on those two lines. Obviously you can get a false breakout, right? But in the same time, false breakout, if you will enter for false breakout, you will end up with a loss. But if it will be a false breakout, you can re-enter in the opposite direction and you can make up for your loss and earn even more money, because that's what false breakouts are doing, that they give strong movements in the opposite direction. And you have seen a few examples of that already. WTI. On Monday, we wrote an analysis for investing.com, and when the price was here, that there is a bullish sentiment on oil and most probably the price will go up. Even it was hard for me to admit that, because in the long term I'm generally bearish for the market, for the oil, but I wrote that in this analysis that I cannot argue with the trading signals, and that's what traders should do, that even if you have your outlook, your opinion on one particular instrument, if the price is telling you the opposite, first of all you need to learn how to read those charts, and you have to learn to respect the price, right? So you have something else in your head, or other direction on your mind, but the price is showing you the other signals, and a real trader will just have to admit that and go with the signs that the price is showing you, not with your own opinion. And why I was bullish on oil 2 days ago here, because the price went above 38.2 Fibonacci level and broke the upper line of the wedge. So two bullish signals. So if you have two bullish signals and no bearish signals whatsoever, that means that most probably the price will go up. First target was reached, it was easily broken, then it was used as a support, and now we are trying to reach the second target, which is slightly above $50 per barrel. The chances that we will get there are very, very high, and most probably it will happen. Maybe it will not happen this week, maybe not the next one, but that's what the sentiment is. Well, with this kind of movement, it should happen like next week. It can happen obviously earlier, but okay. Euro to Japanese yen, broken support, now becomes a resistance. It was an important one. You can see here support, 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 broken support. Probably 38.2 will be tested as a resistance now. Bearish price action here should trigger a sell signal. So once you will see a bearish formation, candlestick formation, price pattern on 38.2, that should trigger a sell signal. Silver is also doing very good. So after this upswing over the weekend, the price created a sideways trend. Then we moved a little bit higher. Well, a little bit higher. We made new midterm highs, and the price continues to make higher highs and higher lows. So the sentiment on silver is definitely positive. There's not much that can stop this from happening. There's a nice channel up formation here. Maybe it goes a little bit down like here. As long as we stay between those two blue lines, the sentiment is definitely positive. American dollar to Japanese yen. Tried to break that support on 108 and they are, well, sellers are failing again. Buyers were able to defend the first attempt to break it. Well, another one, but let's say first for today. The price creates reversal from the support, which actually creates a good short-term opportunity for the buyers with a good risk to reward ratio. And by a good risk to reward ratio, I mean like a tight stop loss and a potential bigger profit. I don't have to mention that if you open positions with stop losses much smaller than the potential target, you don't have to be right every time, because, for example, you will lose once, you will lose twice, then you have a win, and this win covers those two losses and even makes up for it, and you have even money for the next two losses as well, right? That's trading with the good risk to reward ratio, and I'm doing that, for example, in my strategy. My highest win is two times bigger, more than two times bigger than the biggest loss. Average win is much bigger than the average loss, and even despite the fact that I have 40% of my trades are losses, my account is still growing. Euro to Australian dollar. Here, this buy signal created here is very weak, so I wouldn't enter here with a long position. It's not worth it. So actually there's no signal here anymore. Australian dollar to American dollar. Yesterday I wrote, on Monday I wrote an analysis checking if there's still a long-term buy signal. Yes, there is, although the weekly candle as for now do not look encouraging. Why is that? Because we do have a kind of a shooting star here on yearly highs, which can create a possibility for a double top formation, but it's not a disaster yet, because if we look on a smaller time frame, the price making higher highs and higher lows is over absolutely crucial support here and support here. So as long as we stay above those two lines, the sentiment is definitely positive on Australian dollar to American dollar. American dollar to Polish zloty. Polish zloty is getting very strong, mostly due to the recent strength is attributed to the upgrade of the perspectives for Polish GDP. A few months ago, it was said that in 2017 we will have like 3%. Now it is said it's going to be 4%. So it's a strong rise, strong increase. That is why Polish zloty is gaining strength and is looking good. DAX. That's the situation, the same as on S&P 500, right? Strong drop, recovery. On DAX it's even stronger, strong drop, recovery. With this, we can actually claim that this upper line of this wedge was broken. But as I said yesterday, it does not give you anything. Yesterday we were here, and I said that it does not trigger a buy signal, and that was a good claim because the price dropped after that, because the main resistance is this red horizontal one, not a dynamic one. So for a buy signal, we need to see a price breaking the horizontal, the red horizontal resistance. So that upper line of the wedge is not telling us a lot, and this breakout of this line is not giving us anything actually. We came here for trading signals, not for describing a situation on the charts, because that's not where the money comes from, right? Money comes from trading, and I'm trying to show you good trading setups, good trading occasions, not just to describe the situation on the charts, because it has no sense. I respect your time. On euro to British pound, even despite the fact that British pound is recently a bit stronger, we do have positive sentiment. We are still above the trend line. And also we are in a wedge formation. A wedge is a trend continuation pattern, so we should see a breakout of the upper line of the wedge, which should trigger a buy signal. This movement can continue to the trend line. It will probably won't be a wedge anymore, but for example a flag or just any random correction. But as long as we stay inside the wedge, there is no buy signal. There is a positive sentiment because it can result with a buy signal, but there is no buy signal yet. Buy signal will be created once the price will break the upper line of the wedge. Canadian dollar to Japanese yen, maybe we will be influenced today on this instrument. And I'm looking forward for the breakout of the red line. The price attempt to break the neckline. Where is the neckline? Where? I have to switch to the daily chart. That's the neckline. So left shoulder, head, right shoulder, a small bounce, and the price bounced off the neckline again, which is obviously in the same time a very important horizontal resistance. But it's still above the uptrend line, so there is no buy signal yet because the price didn't manage to break it, but there is no sell signal yet either because the price is still above the trend line. So it is another great opportunity for pending order, for patient traders, for traders going with the breakouts. Is that a false breakout? Even if so, it was already consumed, right? The price already declined sharply. And on American dollar to Swiss franc, there's no trading signal here yet. So let me show you again. If anything changed here on the markets for the last 20 minutes, I don't think anything changed. So there's just a easy trading. Okay, that looks good. I hope you enjoyed this daily analytical report. We have some good trading setups with the current trading signal. We have a few setups where we have to wait for breakout, like for example on American dollar to Mexican peso, or for example Canadian dollar to Japanese yen. So I think it was quite successful search for good trading opportunities. Tomorrow, remember ECB rate decision press conference, so definitely we will have a volatility on euro. If you're planning on opening a position with euro and you think it will be a midterm or a long-term opportunity, keep in mind that tomorrow ECB and most probably we will have a huge volatility on euro. Thank you very much, guys. If you want more trading occasions and our reviews on the market, you have to visit our Twitter account and our website alpari.news.